How long could you actually survive without a single bite of food? Most of us start feeling lightheaded, irritable, and losing focus after missing just one lunch. Science generally points to the rule of threes: 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and perhaps 3 weeks without food before the body begins to shut down. But in 1965, a man named Angus Barbieri decided to challenge the very laws of biology. He didn't just skip a few meals. He didn't eat for 100 days. He didn't eat for 200 days. Angus Barbieri fasted for 382 days, longer than an entire year, without a single bite of food. But what was he thinking? How did he handle his daily life while surrounded by the world's temptations? And what truly happened to his body when he finally decided to eat again? Today, we are going beyond the evident to uncover the full, incredible life story of the man who lived without food for 382 days. Before we dive into the mystery of this human miracle, there is something vital you must understand. What Angus did was an extreme medical experiment conducted in a different era. Under no circumstances should you ever attempt a fast like this on your own. Angus was under 24/7 medical supervision at the Royal Infirmary of Dundee. Extended fasting without professional monitoring and specific vitamin supplementation can lead to sudden heart failure, permanent organ damage, and death. This is a story of a medical anomaly, not a guide for weight loss. To truly understand this journey, we have to look at the man behind the world record. Angus was 27 years old, living in Tayport, Scotland. He was a kind, quiet man with a massive burden. He weighed 207 kilograms, over 450 pounds. Every step he took was a struggle. Every breath was a reminder of the weight he was carrying. Interestingly, Angus had grown up around his family's fish and chip business. Imagine the irony. A man struggling with morbid obesity spent his life surrounded by the heavy, salty aroma of deep-fried fish and golden potatoes. He was a man trapped in his own reality, spending his days in the very heart of temptation. One day, he realized that if he didn't make a radical change, he might not live to see his 30th birthday. In a moment of pure desperation and determination, Angus walked into the University Department of Medicine at the Royal Infirmary of Dundee. He told the doctors he was ready to stop eating. Initially, the doctors were skeptical. They didn't plan for a year-long marathon. They recommended a short, controlled fast of about 40 days, the traditional limit of what was thought to be safe. They believed this would be enough to kickstart his metabolism. But as the 40-day mark approached, something that shocked the medical staff happened. Angus wasn't struggling. He wasn't begging for food. In fact, he felt a strange sense of euphoria and clarity. The intense hunger pangs that usually plague the first week of a diet had completely vanished. He looked at his doctors and said, "I feel great. Let's keep going." For the next 382 days, the entire world continued eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, while one man simply didn't. If you're finding Angus's willpower as legendary as I do, make sure to hit that like button right now. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to share these incredible human stories with more people. And if you want to see more content that explores the deepest limits of human potential, subscribe to Beyond the Evident and turn on notifications. Your support is what keeps this channel alive. So, what was actually happening inside Angus's body? For the first few days, his body burned through its remaining glucose and glycogen stores. This is the hardest part, the hunger wall. But once he crossed that threshold, his body flipped a biological switch into a state called ketosis. Since Angus had a massive amount of stored energy, his body fat, his system began to break that fat down into molecules called ketones. His brain and heart began to run on his own stored body weight. He was quite literally eating himself to stay alive. To keep his heart from stopping and his electrolytes from crashing, doctors provided him with potassium, sodium, and high doses of yeast and vitamins. He drank water, black coffee, and plain tea. His digestive system essentially went into a deep, silent sleep. In fact, he only had a bowel movement every 40 to 50 days because there was no solid waste to process. Throughout the 382 days, Angus lived a relatively normal life. He would visit the hospital for frequent checkups and sometimes stayed overnight. Despite his blood sugar levels dropping to dangerously low levels, he remained mentally sharp. By the time July 11, 1966 arrived, Angus had reached his goal weight of 82 kilograms. He had transformed from a man trapped in his own body to a person who could finally breathe and move freely. The moment he broke his fast was a global media event. His first meal was simple: a single boiled egg, a slice of buttered bread, and a cup of black coffee. He told reporters, "I've forgotten what food tastes like, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I feel very full." But what happened next? Most people who lose weight through extreme measures gain it all back. But Angus proved the skeptics wrong. He spent the rest of his life maintaining a healthy weight, only gaining back about 7 kilograms over the next 2 decades. He moved on with his life, found love, got married, and became a father to 2 sons. He lived a quiet, healthy life in Warwick, away from the fame of his record-breaking fast. Sadly, Angus passed away in 1990 at the age of 51. While 51 is young, medical experts noted that his death was not a direct result of his fast, which had occurred 24 years earlier. Angus Barbieri's story reminds us that the human body is far more adaptable than we ever imagined. But it also reminds us that the line between a miracle and a tragedy is incredibly thin. It is a testament to the incredible resilience of the human spirit and the hidden capabilities of the human body. What do you think about Angus's journey? Was it pure willpower, or was he a biological miracle? Could you imagine the discipline it takes to go an entire year without the taste of food? Drop a comment below. I read every single one, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, check out our other videos on the screen now. Thanks for watching, and remember to always look beyond the evident. I'll see you in the next one.